kid, I grew up watching Power Rangers, and they were my first inspiration towards, punching and kicking and all that fun stuff. And anybody who's seen Power Rangers knows they all have lots of fun toys and weapons and all that. And so, you do what you see. I grew up, I picked up sticks, I always swing them around, and it just kind of never stopped. As I got older, I started doing more traditional martial arts and training, but I always kept swinging weapons around, and eventually kind of blossomed into this through a lot of strange mutations. The name basically came from the thought of everywhere in life that you get met with a challenge, that's a chance for you to prove yourself. We wanted to provide a space for that, hence we are the grounds that you come to prove yourself and to be proven.
My first interaction with them was at MCon. They had an archery range and sparring circle, and I picked up swords, swang it around for a bit, and fell in love.
We are a full contact unarmored school. We specialize in using what were traditionally historical weapons, swords, polearms, bows, but applying them in a modern day setting, which means basically we don't care much about whether or not you got armor on or leather or whatever. It's you got street clothes on, what's the sword gonna do to you? How do you not have that get done?
The stuff we do here is more stuff I like. The swords, the shields, all my things I fantasize about.
We use foam weapons for our sparring. A lot of the times we'll use synthetics for our training. The sparring is definitely something that's unique about us.
First time I actually came down here and saw what they were doing, I thought, okay, yeah, I can do this.
We don't pull our shots. We're allowed to hit anywhere on the body. We're allowed to do any type of strike short of a closed fist strike or a kick to the head.
It was a little harder than I first thought, and I set the bar pretty high. Real honest effort, and commitment to something is something I haven't done in a long time, and this is about as gratifying as it gets.
If I'm having trouble at work or something like that, I come here to get away from everything, focus on something else.
First and foremost, my thought here was I want people to be able to train martial arts and have fun. If you're not having fun with it, you're probably not going to stick with it.
It's way more fun to do than, say, running on a treadmill or doing push-ups. I feel like I'm a part of something bigger than myself. Martial arts has been around since pretty much as long as people had combat, and yeah, we certainly have a different take on it here, but you still get that sense of feeling that you're learning something that people have been learning for all of millennia.
I am notorious in our group for being the guy that's always got the biggest grin on when I'm sword fighting. It's always just kind of about the thrill of testing myself. It doesn't matter if it's a complete beginner or somebody who's been doing it since before I was born. They all have something unique they bring to the table, and I want to see what that is and see how well I handle it in real time.
Good hit there. I have had more bruises in 8 months doing this than I have ever had in my entire life. And honestly, those are kind of, not battle scars, but those are probably the best trophies I've gotten.
Oh, that was solid. Yeah, I heard that.
I've taken quite a few hits from weapons. We hit hard, and it's fun.
It's weird. There's a certain satisfaction in getting your ass handed to you after a certain point in time.
It's definitely sometimes a little intimidating having a guy twice your size coming at you, but I trust these guys. I know they're not actually going to hurt me. I know the weapons are foam, so I know it's all for the love of the sport, but it's still definitely an adrenaline rush.
It's not about being better than them, it's about making everybody else the best they can be.
Whenever I go up against my students, my favorite thing to see is whenever they do something that I taught them or something that they made up on the spot and they managed to clock me. It's just such a satisfying thing because, you walk up and you're like, you guys are doing exactly what you're supposed to be here for, so it means I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
It's surprisingly therapeutic to clock your friends in the face with a sword.